Hello, geometry students. Yesterday during class, you looked at similar triangles and you looked at the ratios of the altitudes, and then the angle bisectors, the medians, and then you also looked at a triangle bisector. When you have triangles that are similar, the corresponding angles, the angle bisectors, and the medians are proportional to the corresponding sides. Please pause the video and write down the relationships that we discovered yesterday during class. All right, so now we know that if we take the altitude over the altitude, it will equal corresponding sides over each other. So altitudes are proportional to corresponding sides when you have similar triangles. The second relationship you looked at is angle bisectors. If you take the angle bisectors over each other and set it equal to corresponding sides over each other, so angle bisectors are proportional to corresponding sides. Now we're going to look at medians in similar triangles and triangle bisector. Take a minute and pause the video and write the relationships down. Medians and similar triangles. The medians are going to also be proportional to the corresponding sides. In a triangle bisector, the bisector splits the opposite side into two pieces. So then you take BX, and it makes a ratio with the side that is connected to it, AB. And it will be proportional to the other piece and the side that's next to it. Let's take a look at the problems that we have in our packet. The directions read find the value of x. So when we look at the first problem, I only see one triangle and I see an angle bisector. So I'm going to use that triangle bisector. So I'm going to take the two pieces that it splits on the opposite side, and so I've got x, and the side with it is 12. So I'm going to take the x and the 12, and yeah, originally I had that on the bottom on the other page, but I can put that on top as long as I keep them matching going across. And so now I need this piece, and that piece is not there, but if the whole line is 28, then this piece is going to be 28 minus x. And then the side that's connected with it is the 14. Okay, go ahead and cross multiply. Distribute. Times 28, 336 minus 12, x. Get your x's together. That'll give you 26x. 36. X equals, I don't have my calculator, I don't have that written down. Can you guys please figure that out? All right, let's move on to number 2. All right, when I look at this one, I'm seeing that I have a median because these two pieces are equal and those two pieces are equal. Now, I should be using my median relationship. My median over my median equals my corresponding side over my corresponding side. And in this problem, I don't have the median. Well, let's see here. I'm going to put median of small over the median of large equals corresponding sides. I'm going to take the 2x plus 1, small. I'm going to take my x plus 4 and my 2x plus 1. Now that also, I could have set that median equal to other corresponding sides. So I could have used my 40 and my 25. So my 25 and my 40. So I think some of you are right away saying, okay, I'm going to take 25 over 40 equals x plus 4 over 2x plus 1. And you're right, since all three of these ratios are equal, then I can cross out this median ratio, and I can take my 25 over 40 equals x plus 4 over 2x plus 1. So you were right if you were thinking that right away, but why is that happening is what I wanted to explain. Now you guys remember when you cross multiply here, if you can reduce those fractions, go ahead and do that, and I'm going to do that. This is going to be a 5, and that's going to be an 8. I'm dividing by 5, and then I'll go ahead and cross multiply. You get 10x plus 5, 8x plus 4. Go ahead and get your x's together. That'll give you 2x. Whoops, let's see, 32. My error. Okay, now go ahead and move your 5. You get 27. Go ahead and divide that. X equals 13.5. Let's move on to our next problem. Now, I'd like you to be careful here. Draw a line on your paper. I have an additional problem that I'm going to be putting on here. There's going to be a number 4. So if you can make sure that you leave room at the bottom of your paper for number 4. Probably work over to the side here. I don't have my numbers in yet. Let's see here. AB is 24. AD is 14. MQ is 10.5. And I'm looking for MN, so I'm going to call that X. Looking at this, triangles are similar, and so I have an altitude, so I'm going to use the altitude proportion. I'm going to take my altitudes, 14 and 10.5, equals, my corresponding sides are 24 and x. You have 14x is 10.5 times 24. You have 14x equals 252. Dividing by 14, x is 18. All right, moving on to the last problem. You're going to have to pause the video and take a minute and copy this diagram down. Make sure you have this diagram down. This was a tricky problem in previous years for students, so I wanted to make sure I talked about it. Take a minute, pause the video. Okay, so you have that drawn. So I'm looking at my picture here now. I have an error. Let's change this 9 to 7.5. Or we have to find 2 different lengths in this problem. I'm looking for this whole side right here. And I'm also looking for this part right there. And I see an angle bisector, a triangle angle bisector. I'm going to pull out this whole triangle. I find it easier if I pull those triangles out, so I'm going to pull that green triangle out. There it is. This side is 6. This side is 7.5. Angle bisector. Looking for this x, and I'm looking for this. This is 9. So when I do angle bisector, which I believe I can do here, I got to take part of the opposite side with the side connected to it. And I have no number here, so how much is that going to be then? What's the expression? It's 9 minus x, right? The whole side is 9, and subtract this piece to get that. So I'm going to take my piece, which is 9 minus x, with the side closest to it, 6, equals, same thing over here, I'm going to take the side, 7.5, oops, I'm going to take the piece, which is x, and 7.5. So remember, you got to have the pieces across from each other, and then the sides are across from each other. I'm going to cross multiply. So I got 6x equals 7.5 times 9 minus x. I got 6x equals 67.5 minus 7.5 x. Get my x's together, that's going to get me 13 and a half x's equals 67 and a half. Divide by 13.5, 13 and a half, you get x to equal 5. I'm going to write that in my picture. This is 5. Okay, I'm going to take my hair, I'm going to erase some of this. All right, so now the next thing I need to find is I need to find this whole side. So I'm going to focus on that yellow triangle for sure. I'm going to pull that out. My yellow triangle. Got a side of 9, and I've got a y. So I need to find another triangle that's similar, that also has those corresponding sides. I'm looking at this one right here, because I know the 9. And I have this now, that's 5, so I'm going to pull that triangle out. Oops. This is 5. I also know this side, which is 7 and a half. Now the red triangle and the yellow triangle are similar by a similarity. So they are similar by a similarity. Got your shared angle. You have parallel sides. This is your transversal, so then this angle and that angle are corresponding, so they're equal. All right, so now, this angle, my a similarity, now I can match my corresponding parts. My 7 and a half corresponds with y, and my 5 corresponds with 9. I can go ahead and cross multiply. 7 and a half times 9 equals 9y. Go ahead and multiply. I don't have 7 and a half times 9 multiplied on my paper, and I have a calculator, take care of that, and then divide by 9. I'm getting 13 and a half. Equals 13 and a half. All right, thank you. You guys have an awesome evening, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.